Yes.
Kicking it off.
I am ready. My body is ready.
Hopefully I'm as ready as I should be. Still.
We're gonna make this as edgy as we can.
Alright. Starting off, these are the lands of Hollandar. There had been numerous wars throughout the years between the northern humans and their more oriental style of fighting, and fighting contested over lands claimed to be temples and belonging to them, and Dragonborn alike claiming that the temples that of the lands that belonged to them initially, and that they were their predecessors or the ones who made them. And it led to many years of war after the ninth successive war. They finally reached a stalemate after what seemed to be a large conglomerate of dragons had formed an army of themselves and been tyrannically parading across the lands, taking castle after castle and home after home, and just taking everything that they wanted, gold, loot, and burning everything and leaving as many people destitute or dead in the way. After this war had finally ended and the conglomerate of dragons that everyone had heard about had been finally stopped, they finally realized that at this point the warring between each other was futile, and they decided to start making peace treaties and divvying the lands instead in debates. Though there's still many heated situations in these areas, and many other parties wishing to start up the combat and beliefs that they have right to claim these lands for their people. These armies have been told to disband, but there's still some issues with that. The order that has selected you to be reviewed has seen some potential and skill within all of you. Some for unique talents, others for specialties or even upcoming prodigies. You've known this order to be the united temples of all the nations between after the war, and that they're keeping balance between the countries and trying to keep everyone at bay and from starting another war and killing many innocent lives. They've been going around giving great amounts to charity and beyond, as well as the few other people that believe in secret, though they've never been able to confirm this solidly, that they themselves have kept a very deep secret and that they're trying to take over as the new country and usurp the other powers that are there. So they come under vigilant eye quite often. This order is known as the Radiant Shield. These people have gone about to the pillaged villages and other locations that are more desolate and don't have as much, and help them start farms and temples and guards and build their economy back up before moving on, as well as if there's any others with a particular issue. Not many have ever been able to find out what certain issues these orders have helped out with, but they've seemed to have had a lasting peace after each visit in the location, or in some factors have been told for people not to go there anymore because even with as much help as they had, unfortunately have been too dangerous. Many have taken the word of the order but still fall under suspect. As you were going about your daily lives between different situations that you've come into, or maybe even other people have witnessed you and your great feats of strength or even abilities, a scout, per se, has come to witness some of your talents and asked you to join the order and at least see if you'd be interested after a mission or two in your evaluations, to see whether or not you'd be a valuable asset to the Radiant Shield. You've been transported by cart with your escorts that have been informing you that there's been a strange amount of nightmares, and a few peasants have been rather disturbed in the northern highlands of Hallandar. It's a small township where a lordship known for collecting and breeding the greatest horses of the lands that have been coveted by many other lords and barons and even some kings and queens have fallen ill from the nightmares, or have been rumored to have been fleeing this place due to the fact that they won't stop, and that what used to be considered glowing lights of just tricksful pixies and fairies have now turned into tales of gremlins and beasts and shadows that would consume you in the night. As you're being escorted there in your carts, they're informing you that you are to try and find the source of these nightmares, or at least find out the source of these supposed glowing lights that so many peasants have spoke of. The most that they have to go on is that there are occasional rumors that it's the lord's fault of the land, and before having a lord of the house and creating another war over such a valuable merchant that keeps partial balance between the countries, that something be found out at the very least, or something that they can nullify these rumors and prevent people from leaving and abandoning this township entirely. So, at this point, you're also informed that there will be others with the same symbol as you, given what seems like a almost like a pin in a way to put on your collar or such, or even out of sight if you prefer, just so people don't know you're part of the Radiant Shield. To put on your cuffs and to be able to identify your partners. So, whoever wants to describe their character first as they get off their cart, and you can put your tokens down by the horse pens.
Alright, everyone.
There's no takers, I'll go
I think
first.
that's our cue to split up.
No.
Okay, boys.
Okay, fine.
We were all hiding there at the same time.
So, as you dropped off, you could see that each of you have been dropped off by the same style of cart with the beautiful, elegant shield and what appears to be a radiant light coming from behind it, kind of carved into the side of the door before they start carting you off. There's one dragonborn who's standing there awaiting to greet each of you. As he looks at all four of you coming up the way from the horse pens, you can go ahead and describe how you look and what each other sees.
Alright, Nick, get in there.
I'll go first. I ain't shy. Kaldir is a 6'3" dragonborn bearing the appearance of a true-blooded blue dragon in much of his physique. His scales shine with a bright blue sheen, and his physique is unusually lithe for a dragonborn. He's wearing a set of weathered traveler's clothes that appear to be rather well stitched, and a black coat bearing a worn military insignia on the outside. He's carrying what appears to be a very heavy shoulder bag that has a lot of tools hanging out of it. And on his waist is a small object that appears to be about his forearm in length and has a wooden handle jutting out of it.
Hi.
And next?
Alright, cool. Alright. So, this person, he's a very tall man. He's 6'9". He's got long silver hair, and if you look towards his eyes, they're just a very also like it's kind of like a pale white. And there's no pupils. It's literally just a pupilless pale white. No. He does have, like, towards his shoulders, it's weird, but he has feathers, it looks like, where, like, there might have been wings. He does have, one long sword. No. Did we say I had one? I think so. No, 2 long swords. 2. We have 2 long swords on his belt. He's just, wearing classic leather currently. Well, just an astounding tall man. What do you think? Oh, I guess. Alright, cool.
And Joseph Orazi?
Sure. So before you stands a tall and thin female human that moves about in a dreary elegance. Her ivory skin and alabaster hair, accented by her lethargic, half-opened, icy blue eyes, gives her the appearance of more of a porcelain doll than a human being. Her worn and weathered finery is covered in a dark feathered cloak that shifts and clings to her like an inky blackness. Wherever she goes, there's a pleasant hint of frankincense and myrrh, giving one the feeling of being at a funeral.
Alright. Cordelia is a pale-skinned, black-haired woman in worn chainmail with a sword on her left and a warhammer on her right, attached to her belt. She looks to be about early 20s, but she carries herself with an air of experience and maturity, and hanging from her neck is a symbol of a set of scales held by a skeletal hand, which is the symbol of Kellenfor.
So at this point, as you're getting off the cart and kind of evaluating each other, you can see the Dragonborn steps forth to greet you. And you can see has the pin kind of close to his collar and shown on his armor. Hey, I assume you're here for the small investigation to quell some of the worries here, and I assume your evaluations within the order. His name is Hushan Lefrara. I'll be your evaluator, as well as your minor escort and report maker, so you don't have to worry about the paperwork yourself. The Lord of these lands does not know that we are here yet. We've come mostly on the worries of peasants. Other than that, I can't give much information on that other than the fact that we have some guesses that it has to do with the forests nearby, and a few preliminary scouts that have gone through haven't found much other than maybe a burned down village would be from back in the olden days to check, but other than that, best to you to find out what's here and report back to me. I do have a few rooms set up ahead of time for you when you get too tired, or if you're tired from your ride here. But I digress, and business is a little too hasty. Right, I get your names.
No.
I am Caldir, apprentice engineer. I will bow slightly.
He'll bow deeply as well.
Mallory is what you may call me. She gives a slight nod.
Give you a bow as well.
And they're bowing and shit. Jeez. I mean,
Because everybody else is dead.
name's dead. I think of this name right now.
Confirming something.
So his name. I'm now just coming up with this shit. His name is. My name is Mill. Myll.
Alright. Yes, there's not.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I was trying to write down something. You could start that with that as a bonus language.
I can?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case... My name is Cordelia, and after she says that, in Draconic she'll add, "It's a pleasure."
It's a pleasure indeed. He'll give a deep bow to you as well. It's a honor to meet you all, and hope to see your potential come to more fruition. For the few markets around here, you can probably start asking a few people here, but there's also the other more superstitious of the farmers and other workers of the land. We do plan on visiting the Lord at some point, just to see if he has anything hidden from sight of the people of these lands. Though his estate is rather large, before going to visit him, I would definitely suggest finding out a little bit more about him, and maybe perhaps seeing a fitting gift to give to him as a good favor for visiting.
Should we hide the badges while we're talking to the merchants?
Only in the upper districts. We would prefer the Lord not knowing here right away. It'd be considered rude.
Noted.
Nonetheless, they have obviously taken quite a great amount of pride in their horses and so forth. Maybe a few of those merchants might have something of interest on the superstitions of the glowing lights in the woods.
Well, I guess let's get to it then.
Alright. We're on our way to go harass people.
I'll harass people on the street, I mean.
Right. And before all you step away, like, I'll head back to the temporary homes that we've arranged. You'll be able to find them in the northern quarter. There's one of the pig's flies in.
How quaint.
There's
I'm
more
gonna
of
get my edgy hood on.
I do hope it hasn't earned that name.
As
I
I
don't get a name. I don't deserve a name. did it
So,
myself.
where are these stable? He was speaking of perhaps the stable owners would know more. Where are they at? Would we know?
There are a few merchants nearby. You could tell he's probably looking around. If you ask him that, he would point to one of the tents over here.
Looking at her comrades, Mallory will, looking a little bit apathetically, will say, "I'm afraid talking is not my forte. Is there anyone here who can take the lead?"
Well, they tried to teach me how to talk really well. How can I still live at home? I can always give it a try.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Dun.
Tall man follows.
Where are the drugs going?
Oh no. Where's Bane?
Where's Bay?
No. Is it what time of day is it before I say the wrong one?
Good afternoon. It's mid-morning. Really.
It's definitely evening. It took a good amount of travel to get out to the northern areas of this village, especially being up closer in the mountains. It's a little drafty, but it's definitely the beginning of spring, so everything's very fresh and warm still, and it's a very nice breath of air.
Good evening, ma'am. Could I perhaps trouble you for a spot of information?
Of course, please. What you be looking for?
I've heard a lot of tales about the lights that are out in the surrounding areas that have been harassing people and just strange going-ons. Do you know anything about that?
Unfortunately not for myself. I simply do a lot of the pottery around here and other plates and such.
That is too bad.
If you're looking for anything dealing with the forest, she kind of points to the very burly-looking man with the tanning rack and his huge stack of hides, all varying kinds. He might be able to help you. He's a bit of an odd one. He's not from these lands, but he's definitely a good trapper and spends a good portion of his time in the woods.
Thank you for the recommendation. It seems he very clearly spends a lot of time in the forest, considering he has the entire forest on his tent. Good evening to you, ma'am.
Good
Sassy dragon.
good day, my lord.
Good evening to you, sir.
At this point, as you approach, you can see him kind of like shaving down the leather on this tanning rack and coating it a few times with the mix to tan it properly. Oh, he kind of turns around and just. Good day to you. What might I help you with? You need leather for saddles or armor? He kind of looks at all you quickly. Armor, right?
If I wasn't so low on funds, I would consider your proposition, but the small strips of leather protecting my vitals that I have right now are sufficient enough. No, what I was here to ask you for was information pertaining to the nearby forest.
Oh. The Lord's kind of partial about it, but there's a few sections that are still open. Anything of interest, game, kind of good fishing spots, maybe some lumberjacking.
We've recently had
Lumberjacking.
there's been some notice of small dancing lights out there in the forest. Do you know what that's about?
Been here for a few years now, as long as these people. Maybe it's a glint of moonlight when I was traveling through, dancing off some dew in the night, but I think I've probably seen one or two, but that's usually when he kind of looks back and forth, and he looks over. You could see one of the guards that are standing over by the cart in the distance, and kind of gives this man like a sharp, glaring look from him. He leans in and whispers like, "Is when I was in an area I didn't have entire permission to be in, but good game, no harm as long as there's still plenty left. Few things I've seen here, just chalked it up to drinking too much again. I could show you where, but might take a while to get out there over the river and such. Of course, I would say definitely want to be packing maybe an extra pair of boots if we have to get a little wet. I'll definitely have to charge you though. I don't share my secret spots with no one easy."
That would be fair. We will continue. We are merely people interested in the more occult going on, as the one would put it. We like to see oddities in the world. We will possibly return here later to take you up on the offer, but we'd like to gather some more information.
Alright, I don't know about that wiggle your finger shit, but now, if you're looking for a good fishing spot, come get me. His name's Ugan.
Thank you for your time, sir. Let's see, where do I want to go to next?
That's the one descends upon each poor being.
Nice.
You want to go talk to that deviant art?
That deviant art.
Which one?
There's so many.
I mean, really, look at this one though. Like, look at it.
No, that's a Ferroticon.
He looks like he yeah, no.
Are you okay?
Scared of a little fur?
Alright, I'm
Not what I
going over
wanted to
here.
go. That's not what I wanted out of my life.
I like the looks of this old woman in her herb gathering tent. I bet she goes out into the forest a lot too.
She does.
You definitely get a few looks, but you can tell this one of the busier sections. Even though it obviously takes a good amount of travel here, you can see plenty of wagon marks and hoof prints and such. You could easily assume that maybe a few lords or even servants have been sent out here to collect from these merchant tents. They look like they've been set up for quite a while. A lot of the dirt is clearly staining on some of the pythons that are holding down the tent rods and so forth. They've obviously been set up for quite a while here.
Wait. Which old woman do I want to go talk to first?
Yeah,
There's
there's
two
so
old
many.
women. We got this one and we got this one. I'm gonna go for this one first because I saw that one first.
The man? Or the old...
That's a man? That's a man?
That one? No. The one north of you is a man.
Oh. I guess I didn't zoom in enough. I mean, I guess, yeah, he does appear to be shirtless.
Alright, so as you approach, you're kind of assaulted by a mixtures of smells between sage, herb, mints, and rosemary, and all sorts of what seems like kind of cooking herbs are all at the front. But then you can kind of see in some of the baskets and bottles and other items that others are differently labeled. You know, frog's tongue, hogswort, and a few other oddities that you could tell are very, very, very clear to be more of an alchemy component. She seems to have all sorts of varying plants as she kind of hobbles over just a short 3 feet high little gnome old woman, kind of leaning heavily on her staff and just looking to all of you as you kind of approach as she's shuffling about and organizing what looks like very neatly wrapped herb packages, a few names on it, obviously maybe a few orders, as she's going around and collecting a few other pieces of paper that looks like people dropped off for her, and she's kind of organizing.
Well, good evening to you.
Hello, dear. Might I help you?
I'm in the interest of some information, and you look like you head out into the nearby forests a lot to gather this fine supply you have available.
I do, quite often. I enjoy the woods around here. They remind me of the Feywild sometimes. Might I ask why you are coming here? You look like you know how to brew a good potion or two. She's like staring at some of your tools.
Partially I was in the market for some... In another way, I know that you would probably know something about the goings-on in the forest as of late.
Men. She kind of looks a little nervous, like, I know I'm a gnome, but I've had nothing to do with such things.
No, I'm not accusing you of anything.
Could I insight check that?
Sure.
I mean, I'll insight check it too, but I'm trying to be polite here.
17.
Guys are...
Hold on. Oh God! All right, yeah. Let me just do some. Alright, wow. Yeah, you could tell she's actually kind of like, she was very homely at first, but she seems to have like kind of stepped a few steps back and seems very off-put by such a thing.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll crank my suspicion meter up one notch. We've heard rumors that there are dancing lights out in the forest, and as someone who is interested in, sorry, in strange phenomena of the world, I was interested to see it, and I was hoping to know more about it.
Trying to think of what I would have you roll for that, because that is the truth. Roll me
Persuasion.
Yeah, persuasion.
Okay. Now you guys are about to see who you put your faith in to talk to people. It's not bad.
Oh, there you go. Pretty good.
She looks at you and the rest of your party. She kind of fiddles with her staff a little bit, like, and then she looks back and forth between the other merchants and curse my own curious nature. I might be able to show you something. I definitely have had, honestly, nothing to do with these weird happenings that so many people are on about. I've already been accused so often from spending so much time at night in the woods. Just as she kind of looks very nervously at the few other merchants there, and obviously now trying to listen, like, come back here at night, and I'll try to find something for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Could I still buy that mint, though?
Of course. There's just a few pennies.
I'll give her like 2 silver.
Oh, Jesus.
Too kind, my lord. Too kind.
Take my baggie of mint.
Is that what they call it these days?
Baggy of a dragon nip.
Hey, it's the medieval world. Air fresheners haven't been invented yet.
True. Yeah, dealing with peasants covered in shit is not entirely ideal.
That's why snuff boxes are a thing.
You like, there's like a peasant that like, comes into your office and like they smell bad. It's like reach into your bag of mint, just like throw mint at them. This is better.
You need a breath mint.
Alright, then well, I'm gonna start leading everybody else away. So we're not in earshot of everybody else.
As we walk away, you could see though the gnome was very busy at a moment, she's watching all of you very, very carefully now as you're walking away. You could tell she still seems like a little shaken from her decision.
It just occurs to me we probably shouldn't all be assaulting old women with all of our presence. Perhaps we should split up as we search for information.
Yes, perhaps. I feel that having such a large party of irregulars would no doubt arouse suspicion in even the most clamorous marketplace. Looks towards 6'9".
Says as a blue dragon looking at a 6'9" person with no pupils.
Oh, that's racist.
Hey. Don't make me put my godly presence upon you.
Alright, well, seeing as how we now have an appointment with the old lady past midnight, let's all split up and try to gather a little bit more information before then.
Oddly, Mill is just gonna go look around.
He's just going to mill around.
He's gonna mill around.
How do we tell time in medieval times?
He's gonna go window shopping
It's
basically.
evening, so I guess
By the sun.
yeah.
Is that a son?
Let's meet back where the caravans dropped us off at around sundown.
At this point, Hushan would have moved on to the inn.
Teleports away.
Quite the skilled one, isn't he?
He is fast.
Aye aye.
Thank you. Okay, well, I guess let's disperse and gather some more information without intimidating people.
Josh, I would like to kind of search the area for a moment and look for, I suppose, any signs of arcane tomfoolery. In Mallory's mind, she thinks this is just some prankster using the actual spell dancing lights in the wood.
Alright. So you're gonna go into the woods or just look around the market specifically?
So where the woods are they close to this marketplace or?
Yeah, basically the few stables in this market itself is kind of more in the wooded area. The town is just a few minutes walk.
Okay. I'm going to ritually cast detect magic
All right.
Yes, and then walk around looking for signs of the arcane. So that's gonna take like 10 minutes.
All right. So, as you do, you're kind of looking around. Funny enough, some around the horse pens, and you're not sure entirely what it is, but it seemed kind of like almost like a beast ward, maybe purposely done to kind of drive off wolves if they get too close or such. But
Well, that's cool.
other sections you do kind of get a small sense, kind of near this man right here, the what seemed to be the guard, but he seems more of a paladin-esque. Maybe he might have a few ritual components, but you get a good strong sense of that. There's he's carrying around maybe a pouch of residium for his own rituals and such. Other than that, as well as the blacksmith here, he has maybe a few pieces here and there. It's not strong, but maybe you can get a small sense of like what could be like maybe health potions or maybe even a scroll or something. And then in the strongest, you do sense that around the old crotchety gnome woman, that she seems to have what feels like copious wards around her tent, as well as the even though in passing he's a very strange looking creature, the Haikyo Genkai, kind of sitting in his small tent with all his stuff, collecting all around, seems to just be ignoring anyone who seems to go by his little section that's kind of set off in the back near the gnome, and just writing in a book, kind of going back and forth. It looks like he has like a mini library bookshelf set up as he's going through and flipping through a few pages. It almost seems like he's studying something. But his tent and hers seem to be pretty heavily warded. As you go around the outer edges, you don't sense too many very thick and heavy warded areas, but for some reason there seems to be almost like protective spells for like get protection against evil kind of marked around on some of the trees around the camp a little ways out, but something that definitely wouldn't be noticeable unless you kind of, like you're doing, searched around with purpose. So somebody unknowingly to the many merchants there seem to have cast a permanent set of protection auras to guard the camp in the selling stables here.
It's an incredible cost. Very suspicious there, no? Well, that would have taken a while, so anyone else?
Yep. It's Cordelia and...
I mean, I'm just here to check out the quality of his work. I don't care about the magic stuff.
So, looking at a lot of his weapons, you could tell there's very clearly like farmer's tools, quick made sets, something that's not too expensive. And then there's others that are clearly made for the town guard, or even trying to clearly catch the eye of some of the lords. You see he has a mini portable furnace in the back, as well as a few other baskets of iron and already made steel bars. Clearly has what looks like a huge steel case, if that would seal over and he could lock it at night and be able to leave it there comfortably. It's very clear it'd be too heavy to move without some kind of amount of weight weighing you down or slowing you down. For the amount of swords and a few other pieces that he has, the weapons themselves are very finely made. They're very beautiful. They're not covered in gold or any other that, but they have very, very nice filigree and elegant designs through some of them. Very obviously meant to catch the eye of barons or even higher sellers that would pass by and just want a nice piece covered in artistic detail.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't sound particularly good for actual weapons. This fancy decorative crap.
Yeah. Even the maces have, they do look sturdy, but they are definitely more of a elegant design for those who want to have, obviously, more of a brutish, prudent power about them, but still maintain more of a sophistication to them.
Oh, that's a shame. Good to know.
Brad, why doesn't your character have a name attached to them? Or are you just a ghost?
I don't want you to know. Remember it.
It was Mill?
Yeah.
With a
He's
Y.
milling about.
Yeah, I don't remember because it sounded like my favorite gnome's name. But yeah.
Now I'm changing it to Cool. I don't,
I was talking more about Heavy, whose name is spelled like this.
now he paid for the name change. Now he's Cool. He talks like this.
About how long do we have until sundown? Because, I mean, if we already have somebody that's going to probably lead us around the forest and potentially maybe try to kill us for asking too many questions, you know, I might as well go and go poke around the upper districts to see if I can get any other information.
You do have a few hours. It'd be pretty easy to walk to the upper districts and ask about. Yeah, you have a good 5 hours before full sundown hits.
Wow, that's a while, yeah. I guess I'll go tell a couple of our compatriots that I'm heading into the upper districts for a little while. See if anybody else wants to join me.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'm heading into the upper districts to try and gather some more information before we depart. Would anybody else care to join me?
Mill's milling about already. He's walking around.
I suppose so. I finished scanning the area for any signs of arcane tomfoolery. It appears someone has invested heavily in guarding the forest edge with protection from evil.
I heard once a lot of forest creatures are considered as evil by magic. Is that true?
I wouldn't imagine so. Most creatures are neutral in alignment. They don't quite have intent. Although, what's one to say about intent and monsterhood?
To the upper district!
Let me grab you guys.
I wasn't even expecting to go to a different map. I was just gonna say I walked around and talked to a couple different people.
Well, I may not have my tokens down, but
Oh no, this gives me flashbacks, Josh. Why?
because I love giving you flashbacks.
The endless wandering. I guess we've pulled all of you with us. Plot vacuum.
Just so I can have you all there. Is Mill just gonna mill around the marketplace?
Brad's dead. Long live the king.
Brad's dead. Long live the king. Why am I dead?
Because you weren't talking.
I'm milling around.
Alright. So, I would imagine Mill stays behind.
Just looking at some shit. It's a
Alright.
new area.
Alright, so as Mill's kind of taking in the majesty of the mountainsides and kind of open areas.
Back where Mills from, there was no mountains. We had to make our own mountains.
He's like an inflatable tube, man.
Like tall, yeah.
Right. So, as you get to the upper districts, you do see a few people in some finer clothes, a few others kind of transporting a few pieces here and there back and forth. You could tell the majority of the people in these areas are more servants. You do occasionally see what looks like a more higher noble maybe kind of strolling by. Maybe they have a summer home or a winter home nearby that they like to stay here. And most that seems to catch your eyes that it's fairly busy at the brewery. Pretty clear that maybe a lot of lords seem to enjoy the drink that they make here, as well as you do clearly see if there is a noble or anyone of the such, they are definitely riding a horse and kind of do it proudly. You can easily assume it's probably because this is one of the horses they bought from the stable owners and the lord of the lands here.
Do the horses like have like a concurrent theme about them? Like by that I mean like are they all like the same color? Do they have like a distinctive? Not enough horse terms.
Oh,
hair flange.
Basically, you've seen kind of your basic like riding horse. You know, something that's very pretty. You know, not too big or massive. A lot of these horses, though, they're not ridiculous. They're very big, but still have that maintained beauty where the musculature of the horse isn't overextended, and it actually gives kind of a pride that, you know, this horse horse looks like it could probably go across the entire country if you were to be boasting.
It's a very big athletic horse.
Yes, but they also maintain kind of a majestic regalness. It's not like how you've seen some with workhorses that are, you know, they're huge and muscular, but they're, you know, not very pretty to look at. These seem to still maintain kind of a slender figure, but still seem very powerful and large.
Oh, oops! I thought I was muted. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, no. So they're stallions, basically.
Yeah,
All right.
Mustangs get in a way.
I don't know any horse terms, so I'll just take that in stride.
Yeah. Mustangs usually have very long, beautiful hair that even covers over their hooves and gives them a very elegant but still powerful look.
That's what that kind of horse is called. Okay. Alright, so, Well, they said that... I do recall he said he did not want us to give away that we're here to the higher classes. He said it would be rude. So, I suppose mingling with the common folk would be a good idea.
I'm following your lead, Dragon. Huh? What? Sorry?
I guess let's go get a drink.
Very well. Where's the tavern?
I assume it's this building with a shit ton of barrels in it.
That could be the brewery. Maybe it's a brewery and tavern?
I'm back within the hour.
Well, welcome back.
Hello! We are not in a forest.
Oh no!
We're currently 5 hours away from forest time. That I mean in-game hours. We're
Before
currently
you introduce
performing
me
an
at any
investigation.
point.
What was your character's last name? Did he say?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think he gave a proper introduction, but I mean, are you gonna ask? I haven't actually tried to pronounce my last name yet.
I'll wait.
Okay. Now we must go find the entrance to the tavern, wherever the hell it is. Brewery and popularity contest.
For that, you can tell that it's definitely the brewery is here, and there is actually a side tavern here with the welcoming room below, as well as the obvious living quarters from up above. for the brewery keepers.
Good old Waldor. Favorite of mine.
Going in, you can see there's quite a few patrons here. You do see a few of the...
Where are they? Are they all invisible?
Yeah.
Invisible patrons.
Invisible patrons!
I draw my pistol. I have to kill all these ghost patrons. Quickly.
Wait! Please, take a drink first.
A ghost drink.
Delicious!
It's like Red Dragon Inn. It's gonna damage my fortitude because it's a ghost drink, isn't it?
Yes. Damn,
Drink
you
it.
Southern.
Drink it. Drink it.
So, at this point, you do see a few other patrons enjoying themselves. Some kind of just, in a semi-classy fashion, sipping their drinks very slowly. Kind of nose up in the air with their more of a finer wares on. And then you do see what is clearly like the peasants area closer to the tavern bar line. And they're all kind of just having a good chuckle. It's very distinct how they separate the high and low class, just so, the good lords don't get their clothes dirty or soil their shoes.
But the thing is, so Mallory would look at the individuals with their snooty noses up in the air, and she would I don't know if she would know if they're actually of high noble standing, based on, regardless of how noble they are, they're at an inn. You know what I mean? So I'm questioning if I wonder if she would know if any of them are actually lords and ladies versus minor nobility.
For that, in this case, you would definitely know that they're minor nobility, especially since they're actually here at the inn. Mm-hmm. Any other lord or baroness or any woman of note or lord of note would definitely not be caught dead with this rabble.
Right.
They'd fucking buy a barrel of that shit and have it brought back to their house.
Yeah, you could clearly see barrel after barrel leaving on wagon or cart and such, being transported back to wherever the lord's house is. For these, you could easily assume that they're probably supposed to be the next in line, or maybe the, lord or baroness's sons or daughters that have been, not next in line, so they don't have the most glorious amount of wealth. So
right, like a third or fourth child or something like that. Yeah, they're not even worried about taking over their familial duties. All right.
I would like to look for the I want to look for somebody that seems to give away that they spend a lot of time outdoors.
All right. For a lot of that, you can see there's at the line of men at the bar, and the one woman at the far end who kind of seems to be just having a good laugh. That they're all very clearly covered in dirt. So they kind of look more of the farmer type. There's a few men at the tables though that though their boots are covered in dirt, they seem to be covered in what looks like to be more of the wood chips and other items, kind of like they've been cutting down trees all day, because it's just covered all over them, and parts of their shirt are just covered in sap with pine
Sawdust.
Pine and leaves all over their body and such, kind of just stick to their shirt. They just don't give a shit, and they're just having a good laugh.
I'll look over at Mallory and look over back at them. I think they might have some more information we're interested in.
Oh goodness, must we? Very well. You may take the lead.
I was going to say, if you're done, you can leave. We have 5 hours.
No, I cannot. I am not here by choice.
Alright then. I'm going to go... How many of them are there?
Right now there's 3 at the table. They're all kind of laughing and shoving a few coins back and forth. They seem to be flicking them at each other. Some occasionally punches the other shoulder to fuck them up.
I'm gonna go buy No, I don't know. This would be insulting to Mallory if I didn't buy her a drink too. I don't know if I can carry 5 drinks though. I don't think I have that many hands.
And you can definitely see that the tankards here are very hearty. They're not like pint sized. It's like double pint.
No. Well, I'm gonna go walk up to the bar first. I would like 4 drinks. Do you want one?
No, I'm quite good. Thank you for offering.
All right, 4 drinks it is.
Right away, my lord. And the man quickly turns around, starts filling up all the tankards, pulls them all together, just sets them out on the table. Like, 1 silver for all.
Well, I'll give him his silver.
Right. At this point, you can see they all have a very nice head of beer on them, and it smells very, very rich of hops, but almost like a mixture of maple and molasses sugar.
What? No way. That sounds
Man,
awesome.
This is like good shit right here.
Yeah, no wonder. I was wondering why the nobles were here, but okay.
They got a secret recipe. Alright, well, I'm going to pick up all 4 of the drinks. I assume I can do that with 2 hands. It'll probably work.
Oh yeah,
I carry 4 drinks in real life.
Of course, they're not small glasses. Like I said, they're big, so the handles are not nice and hefty.
I'm gonna walk back on over to Tree and Bark Men.
All right. They kind of see you approach as you step forth. You know, before you even get a word out, they just turn there and look like, "That's the biggest fucking lizard I've ever seen."
Oh.
I assure you, I am not a lizard. Setting the drinks on the table.
Oh, thanks. Have a seat. You gonna join us for a few tales?
Yes, actually.
We were sitting there talking about the biggest wolves we've seen going by. Last week, Gregory here almost lost his fucking leg as it tried to chew his fucking leg off. Knocked down a tree before he could even finish debranching it. Damn thing tried to take his boot off.
Did you say a wolf big enough to knock down a tree?
No, that's ridiculous. When he knocked down the tree with his good old axe.
Oh. I appear not to be drunk enough, he will say to himself.
Mallory will position herself, like, kind of behind Caldeer, like, standing kind of, not at attention, but something similar to that, like, almost as if she was, like, guarding him, like a bodyguard kind of style. And Caldeer will hear a whisper in his ear that says, without her, leaning forward, he'll ask them if this is typical. Sorry, I put it in an accent. Ask them if this is typical behavior of wolves.
Do the wolves normally try to eat your legs? Are they this hungry?
There's a few incidences. I usually just give them a good whack with the axe. They go running off. I mean, none of them are able to take down none of these guys. Yeah, they all just start like punching each other. The other one like punches you in the chest a little bit, and it almost feels like getting hit by a brick. You could tell these guys do nothing but fucking chop trees down for a living. Fucking arms, they're just massive, barrel-chested as fuck.
They're treemen. Do all of the other wildlife do this, or is it only the wolves?
Only the wolves. We don't even get bears. A lot of the bears around here seem to have just fucked off.
Wow. That is very peculiar.
Last time I seen a bear was almost a year ago, and the other guys are like, yeah, that's when the fucking Lord decided that he was going to try and sell his estate. Talking about his ward. At this point, you can see a few other nobles just kind of like turn, like a deaf ear, like ignoring the peasantry, shit talking from the Assumption.
Peasantry shit talking.
Yeah. They're looking like, yeah, she's a real beauty. I wouldn't mind a tussle with her.
Wait, who is this to this? I was distracted. What?
they're talking about the Lord's ward.
Oh.
Meaning like his charge, daughter in a way, but adopted.
The Lord's Ward. I like that. That's like a good online name, the Lord Ward.
They're all sitting there like, yeah, you're a real beauty. Seen her riding around in the woods a few times herself. Yeah, a few of these guys here said she stopped for a tussle and showed a fucking massive big ass beast between her legs. I don't believe you, fucks. Ain't no lady gonna stop for your smelly junk. Just start laughing. And the guy like throws part of his beer. He's like, I'll fucking beat your ass, Eddie.
Mallory gives the tiniest, almost imperceptible groan.
But nah, the fucking wolves. It's surprising. They chased a few other people, but I've never heard of the Lord having an issue. But that's maybe because of the few bodyguards he's had. I'm sure any wolves that got near his estate have been fucking cut, gutted, and pelted. It's dangerous going near his woods. A lot of hunters and other guards, they don't even kill anything on the grounds. They just make sure people aren't there. I've heard a few other stories of people being ballsy enough to go there themselves. I've heard they're strung up by the fucking balls. He's very protective of his lands. Other people say it's because his ward likes to take horse rides. I can definitely agree with being worried about that. Don't need one of these manly men whisking her heart away.
If you do not mind me asking, how long have you lived here?
My whole life. Gregory and Timothy here been living here just as long. We lads, we all be running around stripping and diving into the creek naked, having a good fucking laugh before we took over what our fathers did.
I guess that pretty much concludes what I wanted to ask them. So, I mean, I'll listen to the rest of the bar talk and finish my beer before I bid them farewell.
As you kind of listen a little bit to the few bits of bar talk, you do catch one side note of one of the men talking like, "Oh yeah, I went to the village myself. It was an interesting place. Yeah, definitely not as fun around here, but I can definitely see how the founders of these lands have definitely had a good life there before all burnt down."
It's true. I've not asked anybody about the burned down village that was mentioned earlier.
The lord and lady of this land, what were their names again?
No one said yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
nobody's asked yet. Yeah. Okay. Actually, yeah. Mention of that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's reverse a little bit.
All right.
I'm a traveler. I'm new here. Could you enlighten me as to the names of the lords and ladies of this land, this land's lord particularly?
Oh, one who keeps all the money from all the stallions he sells and breeds is Lord. Is he kind of like stands up and holds up his mug and like the most pompous, arrogant pose ever. Lord Jurgen Alistair the Fifth, as everyone proclaims him to be. Fucking beautiful lady, Alessa Wormwood.
Are you also typing it in the book?
Oh,
what's up?
double types in the books.
Lady Alessa, what was it again?
Alyssa Wormwood. I already put it in there. I already beat you to it.
Well, yeah, everyone always comes to pay him homage once in a while, and I know a lot of people have been coming to visit, especially since he's been considering selling his estate and moving somewhere a little warmer than the good old North Mountains here. I'm just surprised this home's been there for many a generation. It's the only thing that didn't burn down. They just kept building onto it.
I've heard a lot about this town burning. Do you know what started the fire? Is it...
Some people were saying there was a lightning strike. Scared all the horses. It's almost lost the business. The Alistair family barely kept it. Many people were saying that it was impossible, but somehow they managed to get enough horses and breed fast enough, though the original lord had unfortunately lost his wife just in the fire, because at that time he was a little pretty down and depressed, and that's when the business was going under before finally he kind of picked back up and stopped making so many trips into the woods himself. Everyone kept seeing him coming back with more and more horses all the time. They assumed that he found the ravine of horses that you can pick them out of with a mine and just shoot them out. At least that's what they always said, but family generations, you gotta blow sunshine and smoke up every lord's ass to make them feel more important than they really are.
Well, that's the way with the noble peoples, isn't it?
Oh, that it is. That it is. Egos so big they can inflate the fucking earth.
Alright, now I think I'm done asking questions.
At this point, yeah, you can see he's a little deeper into his cups at this point. It's kind of starting to get ridiculous in everything he's saying.
I will stand up and head back outside.
They'll give you a cheer before you head out. A few other nobles, they're still kind of back-turned. They obviously didn't care at all what those guys were saying. They're pretty much rabble to them.
I can't really think of too much more information we could get. I think that was pretty. I think that was pretty successful. Don't you think it was worth it? Wasn't it, Mallory?
I suppose so.
Well, in any case, I don't have much else I want to do before nightfall, so I guess I'm gonna go back to the meeting place we decided on, and I'm gonna go do some work.
Wait, weren't we deciding to meet at the meeting place at like 5 hours from now?
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm just gonna go wait there. I don't have anything else to do unless you're gonna suggest something.
It definitely would have taken you a while. You probably have, like, by the time you get back there, especially after the amount of talk that was going on, probably like a good 3 hours left.
Okay. Very well. I will retire to the inn. Meet you at the rendezvous point within the allotted time.
Cordelia Mill, are you going to do anything else?
I mean, Cordelia's pretty much just going to wander around to get an idea of the layout of the place.
Alright.
So that she can actually find her way around.
Alright. Going around, it's pretty easy to find the Pigs Flies Inn. The name is vulgar. The houses themselves actually look very nice. You can see what looked like a previous pig pen nearby, but now completely empty. Obviously, probably how it got its name years ago, but it seems to be just kept there for aesthetics and history's sake. The rest of the areas you could see further out, you could see a few other farms, a couple of pig farmers as well in the distance, moved out not too far, maybe connected with the inn or so. It's easy to see.
Fresh meat in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm. And other than that, it's a fairly simple layout. Obviously, the higher up the mountain and further towards the Lord's estate, you could see the township gets a lot nicer. The brewery's kind of more towards the middle section, so it kind of meets the needs of the lordship, not having to transport too far and being able to keep with the peasants not having to walk a huge distance so they can get their patrons every night. Other than that, you do, going by the brewery and a few other places, you do smell heavy molasses and hops in the air. A couple of hints of maple here and there. A few other shops that kind of catch your eye. Nothing too extraordinarily out of place. Just as well as a few other rundown homes, but they all seem very simplistic in the ways they're living, and nothing too out of the ordinary really sticks out. This town seems very calm and quiet and not too chaotic, other than for over by the brewery and such, where a lot of the traffic seems to be center focused on, probably because it seems to be the most entertainment of this area, being so far out in the woods. This is a rather humdrum area. Other than that, bouncing back to the meetings of chapter. So, you don't have to worry. A lot of these people have gone home. You can see a lot of the tents have been wrapped up and closed up shop. Anyone who's here is probably watching over the horses, and just a few other people to just kind of keep post and make sure they have enough food, water, and nothing else has gone awry. And you do see the small, little crotchety old gnome woman kind of sitting, come sifting out of her tent right at the time that she said she would. And at this point, you do see her look over to all of you and kind of looks back and forth, kind of nervously. Alright. You'll hear about the lights, I assume.
Yes, we are.
We'll see the lights.
Very well. At this point, she's gonna start leading the way. Just be mindful of your steps. This forest is not properly pathed.
I can see everything.
Welcome to the club, brother.
Welcome to the Dark Vision Club.
Collect all of you.
I'm gonna get something that maintains my consciousness. So I'll be back. Continue.
It's an energy drink.
It's an axe, I brought it.
I think that does the opposite of what you intend, Brad.
It's an axe! Now die.
Let's die.
I'm sure chopping off a finger every time you get tired will train your body.
Oh my god.
It'll train your body about 10 times.
Well,
After that, you've sort of run out of fingers.
you could go to your toes.
That's true. You're not wrong. Then you have 11 more.
Hospital nearby. You could just get them reattached.
Oh, and good news, no chlamydia. I'm clear.
I'm clean! Now let's find a sheep again. Oh! Alright. So as she's
Jesus, look at these mushrooms.
as she's leading you through the woods, it takes a good while leading you through the dark. You can see she actually does cast the orbs that you assumed were the trick. But as she keeps leading you further and further into the night, you finally come across a small open grove with mixtures of trees and bushes all around, kind of just dotting the area. And this place feels extremely serene, blissful, and peaceful. It's very, very strange. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this place at all.
Incredible.
Before shrubs come alive.
No, forest shrubs. It's
Go
him.
my servant.
Yeah, it's him. Oh God.
The old woman just agrees to lead several weird-ass giant people out into the forest by herself.
Yeah, she's probably gonna kill
It sounds like that. It sounds like a setup for like a gangbang.
She's probably gaping. Yeah, like think
So,
about it.
so you confirmed though, right, Josh? She's the one casting dancing lights.
Yes, she's doing the spell you suspected.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
As she kind of leads the way. You know, for all of you, trusting a small gnome like myself, you seem very foolish for adventurers. And she kind of leads you to the mushrooms and kind of just sits down on one of the caps. As she kind of like waits for all of you to come over. Come now, I'm not going to bite. Too old anyway.
Will you now that she like says that and kind of it's not confrontational, but she's like kind of running out into open. Mallory will ask her. So, are you the one who put the enchantments on the edge of the forest?
I did.
You must be a very powerful wizard to have casted such permanent spells.
You're too kind. I'm just skilled in rituals. There's copious amounts of residium that I had to use to do such things. Spent most of what I had and earned from lords paying way too much for rosemary and such.
May I ask why?
There's a strange sickness in this land. I was not the only one to come here. I heard stories and tales of strange spirits, creatures. Never found a thing. There's only one night that I decided to put up the wards was after a pack of wolves descended upon the camp. Ravenous, wild, didn't make sense, never approached before. It seemed intent on just killing to kill, which was peculiar.
I see.
For the other glowing orbs, I've not been casting those. It's left me quite perplexed. I have heard, though, of older tales of these woods. I found some evidence of them as she kind of takes out a small pouch and opens it up and looks like almost like a set of clothes that would be meant for a doll but made from wooden leaves and other such items, and just a very, very small stone dagger. Pixies and fairies are the sister and brotherly kind of the Feywild. I haven't been able to find them. But I keep hearing more and more incidences of them. I have feared that they are possibly the ones who sent the wolves. Though, much of what I've learned here seems very folly. The most I was able to do is at least protect the innocent merchant camp and the stables over there. My friend, who has done quite a lot of research, is a small furry fellow. Very wise beyond his years, though. Finally found out what some people had believed to be the reasoning behind some of the fires after we had traveled out there. One of the houses almost seemed to be cursed, sickly, all the writing on it. Very bizarre and ritualistic. Not just someone writing disfigurements or condemning whatever poor person's history was there so long before. Almost done purposely. Seemed to be foot drag marks all around the center. I'm not entirely sure why. It gave me a very unsettling feeling to be there. If you're going to find anything, unfortunately, you'd have to go to the Lord's Forest. It seems to be where most of the lights come from, and I fear, especially since not too many people see the Lord, that he himself might be coming under some besmirching curse, maybe the family name, maybe a jealous lord. I can't confirm myself. Someone seems intent on ruining this town and driving people away. There are old legends of why there's so many horses here. Some ridiculous, some sensible. Others saying that maybe the Lord simply stole them, and finally, bad luck is coming around to the family that deserves it. But those are just spiteful nobles. I think it's something far worse. I wish I could find the fairies that seem to be residing in these woods. Fortunately, I've had no luck.
Knowledge. Oh, sorry.
The only evidence I've been able to find of their mischievousness is the mushroom grove here.
Would it be knowledge arcane to think of what I know of the Feywild, of beings such as fairies and pixies?
Arcane or history?
I'll go with arcane.
Alright.
Oh!
This is not your area of expertise.
You know they glow. That's about it.
Lost, I should have paid attention. When my tutor was schooling me.
Now, the Feywild is a very interesting labyrinth.
Yes, you know, Feywild. It's wild. And Fey.
A mix of both, if you will.
At this point, you do hear kind of like a rustling from the bushes and trees. Kind of suddenly grabs your attention, not too far off. And Marshall, you can drop down your character, introduce what they see as you kind of break through to kind of see what these glowing orbs were.
Just there, right?
Yep.
What, so I'm just what, sitting and listening to the conversation.
Sure, if you want to. Like,
Just walking through. I just want to know, like, what I know relative to this, because, like, I'm completely blind. I have no idea what's going on.
alright, so basically they're investigating a lord's land. The glowing orbs have been rumored to be around here. It seems to be driving off a lot of the peasants as they suspect it as witchcraft and more.
Wait, was he? So are we going at it as if he with us in the beginning with all the introduction, or is he? We don't know this guy, right?
How about here? I got an idea. I'm just gonna be like, I'll be out here picking mushrooms and just come across you guys.
Alright. Yeah. It'd be...
Picking mushrooms and then like, what the hell?
At the rustle, Mallory has made some quick hand signs, and her fingertips kind of have a icy sheen as she looks at the direction of the rustling disturbance.
Who goes there? As everyone kind of turns to you.
Not to fear. It's just a regular mushroom picking half elf. I was just out on a blissful. This is evening, yeah. This is like nighttime.
Yeah.
This is like
The dark of the night.
this is
on
like
a
this is midnight. Yeah.
It's like, I hope you have dark vision, boy.
I do. I believe I do anyway.
I think half helps.
I should. Hang on. Let me just quickly check. I do absolutely. I was just on a blissful night walk, just here to pick mushrooms and other things for my botany. Yeah, of course. Excuse the large bear. That's Scat. He's my accomplice. And then Scat proceeds to just sort of be like, and just sort of look at everyone.
Inside check.
I was really
Is
hoping.
he telling the truth?
I don't trust this one either. I'm also gonna try to...
I get Scat the bear.
That's not a black bear. That's a brown bear.
Yeah, it is a brown bear.
I'm looking
hold
into
on,
this
hold-
story.
hold- I can fix this. There you go.
That's metal as fuck. The bear is wearing
That
a
actually,
coat.
the thing about that is, if you were to remove the bottom image, that actually kind of looks like it's a top-down bear, but it's a really thick bear.
There you go.
Well, anyways,
Actually looks like a piece of shit.
That's why his name is Scat.
Exactly.
It's also a very small bear.
I mean, black bears are pretty small.
Yeah. All right.
Why did Jesus Christ? All right, yes, he would be about that size, to be honest. He's a black bear. Anywho, yeah. So
is the bear taller than me?
how tall are you?
6'9".
Yeah.
9?
The black
I
bear
would-
standing on his hinds would probably be like 10 feet.
On its hinds, yeah. On all fours?
On-
No. It
no.
Oh no.
If the bear was as tall as you on all fours, I think we'd
I
all be,
would
Actually, no, not always, man.
absolutely shit myself if the bear was taller than me on all fours.
I'll be a colossal class bear.
The bear just goes over and starts taking a drink.
Good old Scat the bear.
Yeah, the bear is having a sippy.
You're a dragonborn, hey?
Yes.
Nick is, yeah.
I take it you're a dragonborn. I just want to know relative to, like, I could take a perception just to be like, yes, you're an elf, clearly. You're a very
I am
scaly,
lizard
horned
man.
elf.
I am lizard man, yes.
You're a lizard man.
Lizard that spits. Do you come by here often?
Well, it is only the best mushroom picking place.
I guess I can't really argue. There are giant mushrooms.
Was the mushroom story legit? Was my insight not enough?
And
Oh,
he's just picking mushrooms.
Okay. I believe it.
let's tell the truth. He's here for mushrooms. He's got a whole fucking bag just popping of mushrooms.
Mushrooms?
Want some shrooms, man?
Might be one of
That
those
is
that
tall enough to be able to see into his bag.
likes to consume the stranger mushrooms recreationally.
When you've got an intelligence of 16, you just want to enlighten yourself.
I've done this
quite a
quite a
bit
bit myself.
I'm just gonna in character ask and just be like, so, did I happen to walk in on anything?
The gnome telling of a few things here and there you probably didn't notice because maybe Scat was breathing a little too close and just kind of poking at you, distracting you. Maybe picked up a truffle that he maybe found and started eating it before he even got it away from him.
Alright, well, I'll just tell the group then, I guess. Well, I'm Reagan. And you already know that that's Scat, my brown bear. My black bear, I mean. I didn't... Look, dark vision, colors, difficult. Nice to meet you all.
I've seen you before.
Ooh.
You're asking me about a few experimental plants to expand your mind.
I don't recall this at all. I think
Looks at the
you-
mushrooms in your bag.
you may want to rethink what you just said to me, small woman, as I am not who you think I am. Can I take a persuasion roll on that? No, deception. Can I do a
Yeah, deception
Definitely
roll.
had a bit too many.
This is the shadiest shit ever.
Oh my fucking god. Fucking...
All of his stats are 9 million.
Yes, that is true.
At this point, you could tell she thinks about it for a minute. It's no, this seems about right. Yes.
Maybe he's not the person I would.
Yeah, this is not the droid you were looking for. No. No, you're right. Maybe the other person I was talking to is a lot taller.
You and my destiny. Yeah, I'm just gonna push those mushrooms down in my pack to make sure that no one's looking at them.
So before we were so rudely interrupted, what was the plan? Mallory will say to Kaldir, clearly the only sensible person in the...
I'm just the only one that's talking, it seems.
Exactly.
Well,
Don't forget me.
yes. Hello, Mushroom Picker. Good evening to you.
Yeah.
Scaly elf.
Whatever. Well, I did hear that people that go into the Lord's Forest get hung up by their balls.
Well, as I do not have any, it appears we are good to go.
You're looking for the Lord's Forest.
Awfully nosy, this one.
Yes, he is.
Come on. I was in the area. I want to make friends. I live in
Mallory
a
raises an
solitary life,
eyebrow.
you know.
A single eyebrow.
A single eyebrow.
One.
As opposed to two.
Yes.
Well, I just thought Do you know the way to this forest?
Do you know the way?
I did.
I'm sure we could find it. Yes.
Well, perhaps, just an idea, I too am looking for this forest.
If
Perhaps
you're
we
looking
could
for
join
it, what help would you
forces.
be?
It's probably got more mushrooms.
Look, I'm not gonna say my morals behind why I want the forest, I'm just saying.
Do you still have your balls?
Awfully strange question for a stranger to ask someone who just met. But if you insist, I'm just gonna drop trowel right now.
Oh
No.
my
there.
god.
Oh.
That I was asking that.
Very intact.
I was asking that because I heard that people get their balls cut off when they go in there. Not allowed. Please stop.
Oh well, if that's the case and they get cut off, I don't have any. Can't cut what's not there. Just
What?
swiftly pull up the trousers and retie.
I don't like this man.
This is a lot to take.
This is
Not
worse than the
all
strange
there, is
6'9" mutant behind me.
Suspicious would be an understatement.
Perhaps I'm not being entirely honest with you.
Perhaps.
Well, you're quick to judge, aren't you now?
Considering
You
you
see-
dropped your trousers in front of us as a total stranger.
Look, I don't get out often. I
Clearly.
try, but yeah, I'm a large forest dweller. For instance, would you like to see a trick, perhaps something that could enjoy our friendship?
It's getting kind of late. It's the middle of the night. Why are you trying to show us tricks? Don't you have something important to do?
Hold on. Good,
Other
good
than
sir.
picking mushrooms.
Good sir. I must speak to my compatriots alone for a moment. If you would excuse us. And she'll kind of take Caldera aside and say, so, are we following him?
He seems insane. I'd vote no.
You should look at him when you say insane, just to see what he's.
Yeah, I glance over.
As you people are talking, just sort of like. So can I come too?
Why is he so insistent on going into a dangerous forest?
I don't have many friends.
I can see why.
Yes,
It reminds me of a donkey from a story I once read.
Oh, God.
Yes, I think I read it. Like, wasn't it like, did it take place like in a swamp?
That's sort of like a forest.
Definitely. Weirder one.
I don't think we're going to be able to get rid of him easily.
True.
So I'm gonna jokingly hide in a bush to see if when they all turn around they can see me, and I'm gonna be like, I vanished.
And
Can I take a stealth check?
Do it with disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll agree to that. I just want to see because he's kooky and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work very well.
So, as you're all talking, you just suddenly hear... as you can see, like, all the leaves rustling, and half of it's destroyed. Only his face is hidden, but most of his clothing is, like, sticking out from it.
I don't know. Look at him.
He's climbed into a bush now. Is he trying to sleep?
I'm just getting more berries. Don't mind me.
What about the mushrooms?
How did he just hear my whispering voice?
Really
I
had
think he
enough
might be a
mushrooms.
witch.
You're not very good at whispering. I can hear you.
oh my god. Okay. So Did the gnome lady say her name?
Not at all.
Madam, I don't believe we've properly introduced ourselves. My name is Mallory. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Reagan.
Yes, we heard the first time.
Right, understood.
My name is Lillywix.
Well, Lady Lidwix, could you perhaps lead us to the King's Forest?
Lord's Forest.
Lord's Forest? Same difference?
Oh. It might.
She kind of looks at the strange half-elf.
As long as you promise not to tell anyone that I led you there. And you,
As she like points to you in the hidden in the bush.
Finally.
very well. It's not too far from here. Stay close. I'm not sure what we'll find there this late at night.
And she kind of gets up and starts hobbling the way.
Oh, finally. Someone to show me the way.
And they're just as small.
Do you smell weird, or like, have you been out in the forest for a while? Like, I just want to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Not smell weird, but out in the forest, yes.
How can you not smell weird? You live in a forest.
Don't live here, I just spend the majority of my time.
I assume you smell weird. I'm gonna keep my distance.
I love elderberries.
A bottle falls out of his coat.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Excuse me.
Cause L'Oreal, you're perfect.
So she's kind of walking along, like she'll kind of poke and pry at all of you a little bit with a few questions, like,
Why have you all taken such a keen interest in finding all these happening lights, and why everyone's leaving these lands?
Well, I figure you've been pretty honest with us so far, so I guess we should extend at least a little bit of honesty. We're here because the Order asked us to be here.
The Order? Oh.
That's quite surprising. I didn't realize it seemed to have gotten that dire and gotten the attention of them.
Yes, because truly they've tasked some impressive to get to the bottom of this trivial matter.
If I may ask, could someone perhaps tell a forest dweller who doesn't see a lot of people? What's the order?
I want to roll insight to that.
yeah, if you want to, and if that's honest, like.
I mean, did he have that reaction that he had before the double take at hearing that we're part of the Order? Was that meant for us?
I mean, I just assumed the Order was kind of something big, so I was gonna be like,
Okay, okay. Then I
it wasn't exactly in character.
Yeah.
okay. Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just believe he's a dullard.
Yeah.
I just don't see a lot of people, to be honest.
So, I'll just say in brief rundown of what you guys do actually know, so he can know. The order is also known as the Radiant Shield. Has been a group of united temples that could join together when a conglomerate of dragons had joined to kind of tirade over the lands, and then after they've been kind of keeping peace between the two nations that were at war with each other, between the eastern humans and such, with the Dragonborn as well, fighting over the lands and the temples themselves before finally reaching a more peaceful resolution. And then they've been going around helping a lot of the peasants and other people that have been suffering because of the war, and also kind of marking off areas that are too dangerous to live in. And also there's a few other interests of people that believe that they're just trying to usurp the other nations and come to power themselves, but they've not shown any such thing, though it's extremely hard to find out any information of the order unless you actually work with them or for them.
Alright, I
So
recorded a good
Reagan's
summary for all that.
Reagan's just gonna sit here stroking his beard. It's not a long beard, just a short beard.
It's a strong.
Well, if you're sitting there, you're getting further away from us because we're all walking.
He's well kept. So he just, he plods along.
So, at the point in the middle of the walk, you kind of hear this. So, at this point, anyone who's trying to find the source of that sound, go ahead and hit me with a perception as you kind of look through the forest, trying to figure out as it goes by.
Oh, these garbage rolls.
Oh my god!
I guess I will also make a perception check.
Wow.
7, 8, 9.
Wow!
Oh my god.
And I'm proficient!
We are so distracted.
There's a lot of mushrooms to pick.
So at this point,
Cordelia, save us.
she already rolled. She did roll. Cordelia, you catch it for a moment. You see a figure, clearly on a horse riding by, but that's as most as you can catch it. At the best that you could tell, it looked like they were wearing something heavy, like that would cover them from vision. But that's as much as you seem to get of it. Little Wix in front seems a little perplexed at this, like,
Is somebody this far out? Middle of night other than us?
Yes, it is quite suspicious, and she'll turn and look at Reagan again.
Hey, don't look at me, I'm just picking mushrooms.
One seems
It's
a bit
the-
more organized.
I heard in the tavern that the Lord's Ward likes to go for horse rides. Maybe it's her.
That would be surprising.
especially at night. She kind of continues leading the way. At this point, as she continues forward, she finally comes along with all of you. Move everyone here together. Ronald Reagan.
That's just Reagan.
You finally arrive at the place that she had aforementioned, and she kind of turns to you on.
Now, this seems to be the best source I can find, and as far as in the Lord's Forest, I suggest we go, unless we find one of the guards posted through. I'm not exactly in the mood for fighting mercenaries and bounty hunters.
I guess let's poke around then.
But at this point, she kind of hobbles over to one of the houses and sits down on the stone, so you can tell she's very winded.
I think a perception check.
Alright.
Just to look around.
Alright, go ahead and give me a perception check. So. Alright. You definitely take note that there's very clear tracks that whoever was riding the horse clearly came from this direction, as there's fresh dirt marks kicked up.
Mallory would like to investigate this.
That can't be good. No.
Mallory would like to investigate this particular area of burnt hut.
Right. Go ahead and give me an investigation roll. So.
I will investigate over here.
You do notice that there's a few marks kind of carved into the stone. None seem too really prominent. Seems to be kind of kicked around. Nothing too heavy for you, Mallory. It seems just to be like one of the older houses and a few old pots and pans and such. Keldir, for this house, looks like there's kind of fresh footprints here. And then for this, dirt seems to be kind of marked, as you realize that there's almost like a symbol drawn on the ground. It looks close to a star, but then seems to have bones almost like caging it to the sides, with very bizarre, almost sigils going around the circle of it.
Somebody was here recently. What is this? I will say out loud as I observe the bone structure.
And Mil, you as you're kind of looking around, you do find like a few rusted pots and pans that are kind of like half buried in dirt. But when you kind of like push the pot over and stuff, you find a skull.
I'm gonna pick.
All right. So, you get
Is it like just a standard human skull, or like?
It's almost, at first it looked like just a regular skull. Once you push the pot off fully and get a really good look at it, you realize that immediately after you picked it up that there's one missing, and then when you turn it to the other side there's a horn. Seems a little bit thicker, but it seems to belong to probably a pretty good sized person or creature. It's definitely humanoid in shape, but maybe closer in like reference to a tiefling that maybe you've seen. The teeth are very gnarled. Some have blackened spots, and the skull looks like it's been here for a very, very long time. When you kind of flip it over and look at the bottom of it, it looks like some very strange symbols have been kind of drawn on the inside of the skull of where the top reaches, and the bottom half where the jaw should connect is missing and been almost meticulously shaved off.
I'm gonna keep it.
Taking evidence, that's a crime.
I mean, we're technically committing a crime by being here, so...
Yep.
We're rookie cops that don't play by the rules.
We're rookie cops. I'm only taking it to show the others, and then putting it on my belt.
Can I have a look around for any plant or something that would be of use or of value or anything like anything that's distinguished, and do like a nature check on that or something?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me nature as you're kind of looking around. Scat is just kind of milling about and seems to have found a good tree to scratch his ass on.
Good old Scat.
And Little Wix looks over to you, Caldry, and he's like, yeah, there's a new symbol.
The footprints here are new, and this is a really odd structure. I'm not very proficient in religion, but
She kind of hops up and hobbles over. A little winded at this point. Kind of gives a wide berth not to ruin the symbols so you can get a better look at it.
Did I recognize the symbols, by the way? Or was it just like...
You could roll a religion. On the cup.
I'm the embodiment. I don't have it trained, so...
I'm the embodiment of religion. Fuck.
From
Wait.
religion.
So is the symbol? I'd roll religion for that. The symbol in the ground in front of Keldir.
Yes.
All right.
Is it a symbol? Is it a symbol or is it like scripture?
It's kind of like a mixture of both.
Right. Okay.
So, and Reagan, you look around. You're not finding very much, but you do kind of find a few obvious plants of basil that seem to have overgrown quite a bit.
I'll just chop them down.
And Mallory, as you kind of study this, you recognize that these are kind of like praisal marks, but also used in cursing, mostly by magical means. Maybe usually on families, but most of this time you recognize these symbols used by witches. Usually praising more of the darker powers and gods. It's most of the time Asmodeus, but this one seems to be more of a symbol empowered and praising just devils in general to try and curse this land and whoever's home this might have been previously for their family.
Mallory will immediately come alert and start looking around as she says, "Witches." Places to cast.
Could I give another religion roll, or could I give a religion roll to see if I can get anything more out of that, or is that all that we'd get out of that?
For most of that, the most you're going to get out of that.
Yeah.
As you are looking around, Mill, as you're kind of still poking around this odd skull kind of carved structure that you have in your hands now, you do notice some lights.
This way?
Yeah, over in this area. Oh, not there. Over here.
Thank
Oh,
you.
well, I didn't even see roll.
We go backwards, slowly.
Alright.
I'm not dropping the skull.
Yeah.
And,
you
I'm
see
kinda, like,
Mild approaching
backing-
with the skull.
Backing towards. Do I have my skull on hand? And there are lights. Yeah. Those who are nearby me.
oh, we have lights.
Yes. To the up region.
Where'd you find that skull?
House.
It's weird there'd be a whole human skull in the Lord's hunting grounds.
I rotate it so you could see the weird. It has a horn.
Yeah. Is the symbol inside the skull the same as Kaldir found?
Yes, you can tell that this is clearly used for rituals, usually to pour out, most of the time, blood or offerings that have been mixed with residium or other ritual items needed.
I have a bad feeling about this.
We shouldn't leave this place.
What, found something interesting?
Those tracks that I saw, right? Yeah. The whatever were they horse tracks? Did you say?
Yes.
Can I do a check to see like what they would have been from specifically, or do we know what they were from?
It's pretty
Horse?
obvious. Yeah, it's clearly a horse.
Even
I
heard
mean,
of
as
a horse.
Yeah, like as in one or multiple.
Oh. Well, considering all the tales about violent wolves, I think we've learned enough for the day.
I agree.
Clearly, you lot haven't spent a lot of time in these woods.
Good for you.
Is nothing. Oh. Isn't that right, Scat?
Even Scott's sitting there a little worried as he's like listening to all that. Like,
The whole fucking pack.
No, in the tavern they mentioned that they hadn't seen a bear in years. Where did you find that bear?
That would be a good question for another day. Now, if you don't mind, I do have something that I think would be good for the rest of us. In that, if you wouldn't mind, just could everyone turn around just for a quick moment? I get a bit nervous, shall I say?
Oh, dear.
It won't make much of a difference.
You would be surprised. So I'm gonna Reagan's gonna raise his hands, in this sort of strange thing, and he's just gonna go bippity boppity boo. Leave us, Scat. And as he says that, Scat apparates into nothing. Well, you see, what I just did there was pretty much a waste of time, and now we're defenseless. But the good thing is that you just saw firsthand. Well, you didn't see because you were turned away. You saw firsthand that I make animals.
Mallory, who didn't turn around, simply raises an eyebrow. So, now that we're all done standing around, shall we leave?
Leaving.
What's the time currently? Or roughly?
The time is wolves are coming to fuck us up.
Yeah, but I want to know time during night, so that hours of sleep. I don't want to sleep in. That's all.
Dark as fuck.
yeah, very very dark and the moon is high.
Oh, joy.
Yes, I do agree that we should probably get somewhere safe. Yes, I agree.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, mister, the wolves aren't a problem.
Mallory looks towards the old lady who is clearly out of breath.
Had a bear before.
Can you walk?
I'll be a little slow, but I think I can handle that.
You, the tall one, you look rather muscly. Can you
Yes.
carry her?
Yes, tall one.
Yes, tall one. That's me.
You're milling about.
I'm milling about with my new skull. And, yeah. I can carry her.
Well, if speed is of the essence.
Yes.
She's a gnome. She's like a backpack.
We're going. We're picking up my new bag, and we're leaving.
So I'm going to point out the main reason Cordelia hasn't done anything while we're out here is she doesn't have dark vision.
You could have just lit a
She's
torch.
just-
What race?
Yeah, in the Lord's Forest.
Are you
No.
a human? Is that why you don't have dark vision? I thought you were an elf. The time I was going off that.
Yeah. Since we're in a rush
Somebody-
now, Cordelia will strike a torch so she can actually see where she's going and not slow everyone down.
I don't want to really.
You know
How's
what?
the light cantrip work? I don't do magic. I don't know.
For
The
the
light cantrip is basically, you just basically make a torch out of whatever you're holding.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
have
have
to
to
be
object.
holding it.
Yeah, you have to you have to cast it on something. You gotta if you pick
Yeah.
up a pebble, you could cast it on a pebble.
Okay.
It has to be constantly
well.
touching you.
Oh,
Yeah.
me? Oh, that sucks. Alright, well, she's gonna be Torch Lady. We're going.
You guys lied on the gnome.
Yeah. Well, she as you like pick her up and kind of piggyback her, and she's just like holds her staff against you, kind of gives a light at the top, so it's like a torch, and she holds the light for the way as you carry her.
And we're off.
The beacon is lit. Condor calls for aid.
So you immediately start moving. You do actually take notice that there's now 3 lights following you.
Fuck.
Gentlemen, if I may say, there appears to be lights behind us.
I did say that.
Mallory is no longer focusing on these people. She's just running.
Yeah, I think I'll join in the just running party.
Really?
Let's leave the deadly forest with haste.
Alrighty. So, as you're quickly leaving, you can clearly hear what sounds like panting and paws hitting the ground and kicking up dirt, kind of trying to keep pace with you as you're moving faster and faster. You do see the lights kind of getting closer for a bit, but then they seem to kind of retract their distance, almost like they're trying to follow you, but then not completely catch up with you. At this point, you do hear for a brief moment everything kind of goes silent as you're running, and then the lights vanish from behind you, and you kind of find yourself in a mixture a little bit be on the way.
How far are we from town?
Probably a good hour.
A good hour.
Shit.
Is that whilst running or walking?
Running, you'd probably be able to make it in like a good 15 to 20 minutes. But
See ya.
as you're going, you immediately hear the growls of the wolves as they finally seem to have flanked and head you off, like hunting a deer. And at this point, you could see one perched on one of the rock ledges as it sees you going by, and immediately you hear one howl before they all start racing towards you. Roll initiative.
I throw the gnome.
Gnome grenade!
Hey, remember me!
Oh wait, do I need to click on my character before?
Yeah.
Yes.
I could just add you.
Well, yeah, but say if you reroll.
14.6. What?
It's just the initiative tiebreaker part of it. You can turn it on the character sheet.
Yeah, other things you can do in the character sheet is auto roll damage.
Yes, which I also do.
Which, in the game I run on Mondays, I have everyone set to auto whisper everything to me as the GM.
Very,
you
very
can
good
set,
for
You can
characters.
set whisper toggle in this.
Got a dank 8.
I'm oral rolling initiative. Could I conjure Scatback?
Is it what action is it?
That is a good question.
Hang on. I can tell you.
3. Oh boy.
Oh god.
It is a bonus action.
So it needs to be your turn.
Yep.
This is what happens when you dismiss bears. I was gonna say, well, I'm actually going
Wow.
for all the wolves, but I
Granny is ready.
She had plenty of time to catch her breath while being carried by that hot stud.
Yeah.
This is now where she legs it.
Jose did not adjust his initiative on the turn order.
No,
There
You're
you
gonna have
go.
to reorder it again.
There we are.
Those wolves look like really fat badgers, I'm gonna be honest.
What are they wearing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure their tokens are meant to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, they are.
If you
Nearly
stretch
as
the
big.
Like
arm
that.
this way.
Yeah, that looks like a wolf.
But we're shrinking them. You're under assault by corgis.
Feral corgis. The noblemen have them as pets, but then they release them to the forest.
And then they lick you to death.
They're too adorable. I can't fight back.
They cast cuteness at level 3.
Their tongue
They're too cute.
deals
I can't
psychic
hit them.
damage.
I'll feel bad.
Oh god. And then so
Excellent.
Granny.
the granny, though very winded, you could see her focus through her staff, and kind of tries to maintain her concentration a little bit better. And suddenly, from the end of her staff, she points it out. You see 3 magic missiles launch out at these wolves, and peg each one singularly, as she tries to just keep them a little pushed back and mindful of what they're facing. Caldia.
Taking a step back, his hand moves to the holster on his belt and spins out his pistol. I'll use a grit for the first shot so that hopefully it doesn't break.
Oh, very nice. Well,
Uncle shooting at the closest wolf. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Piercing. After the magic missile lands and you quickly pull out, all of you've not seen this before, it looks like a wand of his own, and it must have been a magic missile as he fires, and you don't even see it fly out, you just see this burst of light and the wolf yelp as it goes to lunge off and immediately tumbles down dead.
Nice.
It's my turn.
Cordelia.
Well, I feel like I should probably step up a bit to the front. But, still holding the torch, and just now realizing I actually have the light spell, but I like torches, so sticking with the torch.
Do a belt knock and beat the wolf.
Gonna be
with
honest,
the
I forgot I had magic that wasn't healing for a while. Because I got too focused on the whole hitting things with my sword. Do you know what? I'm going to... That. Sacred Flame
spell is too synthetic. I'm just quickly confirming something because I think I wrote the spell in wrong. Oh, at least I found the page immediately. Right. Yeah, it is. It is written wrong. None. Saving throw Dex. I can go cross. Yeah, that looks right. Still holding the torch. I'm gonna use Sacred Flame on the one that's directly. Just facing directly this way. Just Sacred Flame. Eh.
Oh yeah, is this a cliff too? Is this like a cliff or just like how high is this?
That would be 5 feet, so you'd have to take where like Cordelia is to get up there, unless you want to climb it.
I was just thinking whether I'm to send Scat in or just to shoot something at it.
Definitely does not make the save on that, so it takes the full 4 damage. You kind of see this wolf kind of reel back and take this pain.
Cool. I'm gonna drop the torch at my feet.
Alright. This wolf, eating the closest target is you, Cordelia, is going to quickly run up to you and lunge at you, try and take a bite.
He's here to take a bite out of crime.
Take a bite out of grime. I doubt 13 versus your AC will hit.
Nah.
Alright. Mallory, you see the first pack running up, trying to bite on Cordelia, not getting through her armor.
Okay, seeing as she's seems perfectly capable to handle that, you see frost form on the tips of Mallory's fingers as she conjures this shadowy shard of ice, this ice mice, and throws that shard of ice directly at this wolf. Does an 18 hit? I don't know why it says finesse, but...
Definitely hits.
Okay. Alright, and so he takes...
You can hit the attack button, like
Yeah,
when you hit,
just click
hit
spell
spell
attack.
attack, and it'll do the damage roll.
Yeah, in the chat bar.
Like hit the...
It's fine,
Okay.
it's fine. So, yeah, so that's 6 damage initially, and then all of these need to roll a dexterity saving throw, DC 14.
Alrighty.
I wonder what does happen when you click the spell attack button.
Well, she would have to click it. And only one of them makes it.
Okay,
I love your
so,
invisible rolls, Josh.
What? Oh, those, yeah.
so the one that makes it doesn't take this damage,
Alright.
but the other 2 take an additional 2 damage. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Alrighty. As you blast this one with ice, it kind of yelps out in pain. The other one kind of jumps away, kind of shocked for a moment, and then the other one, not really noticing it, was going to run up the hill, quickly gets hit by a few shards of ice that just break off from it.
And that will be the end of her turn.
Reagan.
So, he's gonna put his hands together, like, to form, like, this diamond triangle shape. If you know what I mean? Like, so the gap in the middle's like the triangle, diamond kind of thing. And inside that's just gonna, like, there's gonna be, like, this flaming ball that starts to get created. And it's just gonna launch it towards those fools, or at least he's gonna attempt to, towards that fool over there. Oh.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, sadly no.
So, as you launch out this firebolt, the wolf sees it immediately and sees the light hurtling towards him, and kind of just quickly jumps to the side and starts running back towards you all.
Well, I've done my work, so now the rest of you can.
So this one, kind of pained by the frost, is just gonna hurriedly trying to rush up to you. It almost seems bizarre. You'd think that wolves, after being hurt this badly, would run away, but you definitely take notice that they don't seem to be falling back at all, almost unnaturally.
They're coming to wolf us down.
Where?
So, even as it comes lunging at you, Cordelia, you immediately block off this other wolf who seem to be all trying to swarm you really quickly and trying to bite onto your arms and legs. They seem to just be catching onto your armored parts, though.
The true tank.
This one, after seeing the fireball, is going to just quickly, and then kind of jump down. And then move up to you, Reagan.
Ah, it is chosen.
As he comes barreling down at you. And kind of trips up over the log and goes to snap, and you just hear it just right near your leg, but seems to have misjudged the distance. Mill.
Hello.
You still have the gnome on your back, but she seemed to have launched out a magic missile, but she still seems pretty winded from today's travel.
Cool. Well, while she's on the back, I'm gonna take out the swords.
Right. She holds on tight. She just crosses the staff over your chest.
And for my main hand sword, I'm going to imbue it with my crimson right. I think I took the frozen one.
Do you not
Ice
have it recorded?
party.
I do. Yeah. So it's the right of the frozen. I'll slay that dragon later.
That was an out of character pun.
You should have switched your name.
It's too late. I
You
seen
told me
it.
to kill yourself.
Okay. Anyways, and I'm gonna attack the nearest one.
Alright.
Ah!
Oh god, that definitely connects.
Oh, do I just click the thing?
Yeah, the longsword crimson. Or wait, oh, it's already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Alongside of it.
as it's trying to bite into Cordelia, you immediately just lance the sword straight through and carve right up, and you split its stomach wide open as it lets go, and the eyes just kind of roll back as the blood spills over the side of the hill here.
Nice. Nice. Here's my turn.
Alright. The other wolves. This one's gonna quickly come rushing in and jump off, trying to bite you. Mill.
Plunging attack.
19 versus AC. Brad.
Yes.
What's your AC, Brad?
Yeah, no, it hits.
Alright.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's a pretty high roll.
Why are your rolls invisible?
For the mysterious effect of...
Why don't you just have it set to whisper them to yourself then?
Because...
Weird. You're just filling up the chat with all this empty space.
That's what I like to do.
He's the GM. Leave him be. Don't tempt God.
Find your character's head filled with empty space, -2 int.
So, eight piercing damage as it kind of jumps up as you're finishing the execution on this one wolf. It immediately jumps at you and gets your arm in a good grip and is just quickly trying to pull you to the ground as hard as it can. It almost feels like it's going to pull it out of the socket.
Oh yeah, wolves get tripped for free, right?
Mm-hmm. What at this point, it's a kind of hard for it to pull him down.
Oh.
And so yep. So just make a strength check for me, DC 11. Or saving throw, my bad.
Oh, I just clicked strength. Let me do the actual thing.
Yeah, the saving throw.
Didn't matter.
Yeah. So
Didn't matter.
It's actually rolling slightly a slightly lower number, but
exactly the same. Exactly the same end result. But as it pulls you down, with the extra weight of the old gnome behind you, it's easy, and you just pull back up as it's hanging onto your arm at this point.
I'm gonna give this one Ebola.
This one. 1, 2, 3. It's just gonna quickly double move up to you, Cordelia. Little Wix is gonna just try and smack it with her staff.
Yeah.
Just the imagery of a gnome sitting on the back of the Azimar trying to like hit some fucking wolf with a staff.
Oh my god. So, as it's like holding onto your arm mill, she quickly like raises up her staff and jabs down, but actually catches it right in the eye and just immediately kills it as it lets go and drops to the ground.
Jeez.
Kadia.
Alright. I just need to check something really quick, make sure I'm not about to break my own action economy in half. No, okay. I'm going to action surge because I can. And I'm going to fire two gridded pistol shots at this wolf and then one at this wolf.
Alright.
Advantage. 14 versus the first wolf's AC.
That will hit.
Okay.
Oh, damn. Another singular strike as you fire and it catches right in the head. The wolf goes down with just a thump onto the ground.
Again.
Perfect. Jesus. Seeing 2 quick successions, you hear the thundering boom of Keldir's wand. Little flashes of light in the middle of the forest, and two other of these wolves go down immediately, like heaps of meat.
Woo! Wait, so you fired 4 times?
I fired twice.
Oh, okay.
you actually
That's
have
disadvantage.
it for those?
Yeah. It's part of
Okay.
Gunslinger. You get grit equal to your wisdom modifier, and the first thing you can do with it is gain advantage with it.
Damn.
But you have to rest to get your grit back, if I recall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Or,
awesome.
air quotes, reduce a dangerous creature or crit a creature.
So it's pretty much like action surge in a way.
And I have action surge.
Yeah, because you took the fighter.
Well, I am a fighter.
That's
for
yeah, that's
Gunslinger
right. I
is.
forgot that's what his base says.
Yeah, it's a fighter archetype.
Alright, well, that's better.
Yeah, so you're not actually a gunslinger to level 3.
Yeah. Only one left, untouched wolf, Cordelia, as it kind of ran up to you, just fresh, just got within range.
Well, just gonna draw a longsword and swing it down at the wolf then.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit dark.
As you're kind of swinging in the darkness with the light kind of swinging around, almost just kind of like in a strobe effect. It's extremely hard to get vision on this wolf, and you just connect with the dirt instead by mistake.
Have to sharpen it again.
Mallory.
Sorry about that. Okay. So. Alright, yeah, okay. So as she murmurs her incantation, once more, globule of shadow shoots out from her hands at the beast as she casts frostbite. So if you could have the target make a Constitution saving throw, please. DC 14.
Oh damn, that's high. Totally fails it.
Totally fails it. Well, he takes the 4 damage, and on his next attack, he has disadvantage.
Ooh, very nice. Just see the cold kind of creep over this wolf and freeze it, and his muscles are actually starting to seize up a little from the effects of this frosted magic. Reagan.
Let's try this again. I'm gonna just do the same thing. The hands in the fiery position, just try and shoot a nice one, right at that nasty wolf. Ha ha, ha, ha ha.
Perfect.
Ha, ha on baguette.
Alrighty, so you immediately launch out this firebolt. As the creature looked like it was starting to freeze and chill up, you immediately roast it back and burn off parts of its fur and flesh as it just connects with its side and falls down with a yelp dead on the ground. And at this point, it all seems very calm, but as soon as the last wolf goes down, especially since you're the closest, Reagan.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Just double checking this. Alright, well, actually, hold on. You do see a brief light for a moment, but beside you, over here. Let's see. Alrighty. So, all of you are suddenly, you feel what seems like the vines and roots themselves start reaching up and grabbing onto you. I want all of you to make me a strength saving throw.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Oh, nat 1.
Yes!
That was compensation for my nat 20 before.
My -1 strength didn't hinder me.
Alright. So, as you are all sitting there thinking everything's completely fine, that you suddenly feel the roots grab onto you. Reagan and Kaldir, you unfortunately you get restrained by these roots as you look over and see a glowing light and what looks like almost like a goblinoid pixie in a way, almost a vicious mutation of what a pixie should be. Looks out over to you and just waves what looks like a sharpened stick or a needle before quickly trying to fly away.
Said I was restrained, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'd like to get out a dagger and attack my restraints.
2, 3, 6. Alright. And then, so still in turn, Mill.
Okay, we're still in turn.
Yeah.
That thing?
You saw the roots literally reach up trying to grab onto you and restrain you before this thing flew away, realizing that most of you managed to break free from these vines.
I don't think I can catch it. Well, I have an old lady. Oh. What do I even? Nothing.
Alright. So,
I think it's best we leave. I will actually walk over and help with
Kelly.
these vines.
Alright. So, Kelly, you can roll with an advantage, get out.
I get advantage? Is it because I'm using my shiv on it?
Yep.
No, I'm helping.
Shiv and the help.
Go. Oh.
There you go.
Dad.
Alright, so you managed to cut yourself free. You can see the light is starting to get a little more distant.
What's the dash action again? Is that a bonus? Yeah, I'm just gonna...
That's only if you're a rogue, you get dash as a bonus.
But yeah, you would have to use your action to do so.
Rogues pretty much can, like, they don't allow rogues into, like, the marathon contests because it's like...
Really? Because I thought
like,
disengage and dash are the same. They're anyone can use it.
Anyone could use it, but it would be a bonus action to add it on. You would use your main action to enact it, meaning you would take up your entire energy.
Oh, okay.
It's just that rogues are, trained to be more...
Really fast, yeah.
Yeah, what I meant is that they could do a dash as a bonus action.
Okay, no, I understand.
My bad, I explained it poorly.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Okay, so...
Oh, is it actually... Do I still have actions left?
You'd still have your movement. You just have to spend your action getting out of that.
Okay, then I'm gonna roll up here and get a shot if I can still see him, because my pistol shoots pretty far.
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty.
100 feet.
Yep. That would be the rest of your stuff.
Yeah, I just moved.
And then Cordelia.
Cool. What's the range on this? 50 feet. Really can't see that far. I'm just gonna try to Sacred Flame it.
Alright.
Really all I can do at this range. And then it'll do nothing.
I'll try and make its dex save. Which it actually manages to do, so it'll take 2 damage.
Yeah, it's not halved.
Or is...
It's a cantrip.
Yeah.
Oh.
It saves it.
She
doesn't
takes
do
no
it.
damage. Yeah, takes no
Alright.
damage.
So as you see the your beam of radiance lance out, it seems to just barely kind of dive down just enough where it goes into the trees. You can tell you almost clipped it.
I'm just gonna put my sword away and pick my torch back up.
Alright. Mallory.
The shadows coalesce around Mallory as her cloak spreads out like wings, and she flies.
Oh.
And flying over the cliff and finding a position to strike at the creature, she whispers "Schlaf" as she casts Sleep. I think it's so it's 5d8 hit dice, and
I think it's
Ooh.
5d8
Ooh.
HP, not... If it was 5d8 hit dice, you'd be able to, like, knock out a god with that.
Yeah.
never mind.
But still,
so
that...
it's 37 hit points worth of sleep, and so you could have them roll a
Do they even get a save against sleep?
I don't think they get a
I don't know.
save.
It's just I'm looking at the
break up
spell
the
right
guy.
now.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
yeah, as it's flying and it kind of dodges the beam, and you quickly go over Mallory and cast this. You see it almost like raise up the needle for a moment, and then just quickly like close his eyes and fade out as he just slowly glides down to the ground and just bounces for a moment, and he's now there, passed out.
Are we still in combat?
Nope.
All
You're
right.
free to
She'd
move.
like to land gently and
My
walk
hand's free.
forward and pick up the goblin pixie.
Yeah. And yes, Reagan, your hands are now free as the concentrator of the spell is now passed out.
Alright, sweet.
Making sure to remove the toothpick, by the way. She doesn't want to get stabbed when.
Right. As you pick it up, you realize that it's actually an extraordinarily sharp needle with what looks like venom on it.
Oh, shite. I don't really have any way to carry that. But I will write that down. Sharp
Throw it-
poison
Throw it in your
needle.
pack, man.
Yeah, throw it in your pack. Oh, what's this?
Like,
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Just have safekeeping, stab it into yourself, and then
Yeah.
use it whenever necessary.
Your god just looks at you like, fucking really, nigga?
Really, Nibba?
I don't want him. Someone else take it.
So taking the ferry over, Mallory walks, by the way, back
Right.
and presents in her cupped hands the goblin fairy. And I'd like to roll. Would it be Arcana again? Anything on this?
Arcana or nature?
What the hell is this thing? Oh, I know exact. Oh wait, no, I don't. What is it? What is going on here? That's not right.
Josh,
Yes.
these creatures like is that so? It's like oh fucking
I can. Let me blow it up. There you go.
are they part of like the Fae or anything?
Yeah.
For pixies, yes, usually.
Yeah, I have knowledge of the Fae.
So,
So with the 14, what is this thing?
for this, it's definitely a pixie,
Okay.
but it's been horrifically twisted by some ritual.
I have knowledge of Faes, Fiend, and Undead.
Can I,
Would anyone happen to have a jar of some sort?
I do. I do, in fact, have a jar.
Oh, it appears you're useful for something.
Well, let's. You're a bit of an asshole. Do you want my jar?
By all means.
Jimmy Jar.
Well, you're not gonna get it. Nah, yeah, I'll just toss you my jar.
And,
Wait, do you like physically toss her the jar? She's got her hands on, both hands on this pixie.
We throw the jar in the air. It's midair. It's flying towards Mallory.
Okay. Very well. Then it suddenly stops right in front of her as she uses Mage Hand,
Ooh.
and then puts the pixie inside.
Can I have my jar back?
Wait, you're asking for the jar back with the pixie in it?
Yeah.
Once we've uncovered what this is, yes, by all means. I'll
Can I
bring
hold it?
you the jar.
I think that's my
With great
new jar.
hesitation.
How much is the pixie in a jar worth, might I ask?
I think that
It's
was
worth one shot to your leg.
I'll be right back.
Because when we're done, when we're done with this pixie, it's going straight to the market.
If you could probably find a black market dealer, not a lot of people are gonna deal in a living creature that's at least sentient.
Alright, how about we knock it out, and then have it unconscious and say it's dead. How does that sound?
You could probably sell it to a researcher, a wizard, or somebody such, maybe.
Yeah, right. Okay, works for me.
You'd definitely have to debate the price on it.
Alright, so who wants to keep the jar? Because I would like to keep the jar.
I don't know. I mean,
Given
to be
the fact that
honest,
it is
your
my
character is
jar.
the shiftiest thing ever.
What do you mean? I'm just a tree walker, mate.
Wow, the literal crickets is exactly what I'm feeling right now.
Maybe slightly intoxicated.
And considering you just out loud proclaimed that you wish to sell the pixie.
That was just a thought. That wasn't a. Look, that wasn't plans. What do you think I am, an animal? God.
Pixie is part of our
Act like-
I make
Pixie is
animals.
part
I
of our-
can't make myself.
Alright. Back. Okay, so
Pixie is part of our investigation. You can have it once we're done, I guess.
Mallory takes the jar with the pixie in it to the
Make sure I get my jar back. I only got one of them.
to Lady Wicks and says, "Have you ever seen anything like this before?"
Not. I've never seen any pixie like this. It's terribly malformed. Definitely will take some investigation. I hope it's nothing to do with what's been going on here. This bodes ill indeed.
With that Arcana roll, do I know if like pixies are like are they like tied to their environment? So like if dying or whatever, they'll turn evil.
You definitely know that they are influenced by the nature and magics around them. So it wouldn't be far to guess that, if somebody was casting corrupt magics or even dark magics, even if it was on them, it could possibly twist their visage.
Can you cure it?
It'd take a while, but I think we would have to find whatever ills these lands first. It is definitely not them. These are usually mischievous creatures, not filled with malice like this. It's unfortunate for this creature.
Can I see if she's telling the truth?
Yes, roll an insight.
Because, I don't know, I feel like she's been withholding information a little bit.
As the bear jar pixie black market salesman.
Hey, we gotta make a living somehow.
I mean, he was honest about selling the pixie on the black market.
That's true.
So, for this, you could definitely tell that she's genuinely concerned about this creature. She's actually very saddened and disturbed that whatever has happened here is horrifically twisted this very innocent creature. As for not knowing exactly, you kind of see a small glimmer for a moment that she kind of might know a small hint more of what could be going on here, especially since she led you directly to where the possible ritual sites were.
Without even being asked, she took us to a bunch of ruins.
I say we go back. Well, you guys go back. I say we go to the nearest town. Have a bit of a sleep on it. And we look into it in the morning.
Why are you even interested in what we're doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want friends.
You've picked a strange place to find them, it seems.
Also, to be fair, you have stolen my jar.
You offered a jar. I don't think that's stealing.
Okay, You're not giving it back to me with the pixie in it. I don't even want the. I just want the jar.
You want me to
How
give
much
you
would you say this jar is worth?
With the
That's
pixie in
what
it.
I'll back once I'm done.
No, just the jar. I caught the pixie.
Just the jar. I'd say 5 gold minimum.
Wow.
You are ridiculous, sir.
I don't have an intention of defending him, nor his sanity, but he did kill that wolf quite easily. The fireball was impressive.
Talented conjurer like me, and mid-sentence does like quite a loud belch. Yeah. I'm with her.
We can buy you a new 5 gold jar tomorrow.
Can we
As
sleep
for
on
right
it?
now, that's the general idea. I'm not a nocturnal creature. I'd like to sleep.
Excellent. I agree. This is as Reagan puts his hand on his forehead because he has this thumping headache.
I believe we're all in agreement. To sleep. But
So at this point, Lidywix is trying to wrap a bandage around your arm, Mill.
Nice.
The backpack gnome serves you well.
The backpack gnome. Everyone should get their own backpack gnome.
It's fortunate you are all here. I don't think I could handle a pack of wolves that big. Not as spry in this age.
Yeah. Especially seeing as you got winded going.
So how much? How much for the gnome?
I am
Give
not
me
for sale!
I'll give you a pixie in a jar.
She points the staff at you, and you can see it glow with like arcane missile ready to shoot.
this
I
I
man
think you
is
should give the pixie in a jar to the gnome.
On second thought, I'm just gonna. No gnome for me. All right, sounds good.
this man is clearly ridiculous. There's no need for you to waste your time on Lady Ladywix. Lady Ladywix.
I'll keep my eye on you, mushroom man.
All right. Proceeds to belch after saying all that. The reason I can't belch anymore, I'm just out of them. I'm trying to act intoxicated, but I can't do it.
No humanoid has this amount of belching prowess.
Exactly.
Oh, you can't belch on command? Come on.
Nah, man, I can't do it.
There you go.
Exactly.
Alright. So, you quickly make your way back to town. You do see, before you leave, two lights in the distance before they blink out. Seem to have clearly been watching you the entire time of this interjection.
Well, let's go back to the camp.
I don't feel so good.
He falls over and dies on the spot.
Oh man. Well,
I mean, Reagan's like walking with his staff, holding it, like pretty much using it to hold himself up.
Alrighty. So, you get back to the camp and you sit down, Lady Lidywix, and you have your pixie in a jar.
I shall be the one carrying.
Yes. At this point, she settles down and like, thank you.
You wouldn't happen to have another jar, would you?
She
Yeah,
kind
they
of
stole mine.
she kind of glares at the Reagan.
One
I'd be
moment.
happy to pay you.
She goes and kind of tucks into her tent and can hear her shuffle a few things around and pull. You hear a clatter of a few jars, and she comes back out with a pretty decent-sized one, close to the same, and hands it her.
Skipping inches on me? There's a mushroom that's not big enough for this one.
I'll send you skipping home.
How much for the job?
It's free. As thank you for at least bringing some light to what's been going on here. Please.
Mallory will nod. Have a rest. We'll probably come again in the morning.
Yes.
Did I record that one guy's name?
You did not. I did not either. I'm trying to remember his name, but
It was the one name I didn't record. I even went so far as to record the order that was being mentioned and the land.
yeah.
Hushan
I gotcha.
Lefrara.
Sean Lefara.
Definitely a very foreign name.
So
Absolutely.
Reagan's gonna like roll out his bed.
Just in the middle.
Oh, you have fun out here.
I'm very tired.
We're gonna go stay at the inn rooms the order provided for, so we'll see you later.
What was that? Proceeds to roll his bed back up. I'll be right with you.
What?
What?
There isn't
I won't
space
have
for
one
you.
for you.
Awkward.
Yeah, I'm leaving. We've been up for a very long time. I have a feeling I'm tired of dealing with this.
Wait, so all you fools are going back to the inn, but then I'm just gonna chill out.
We didn't say you couldn't go and buy an inn room. We don't own you.
Yeah, you have your own money. You could follow us
No.
and pay for your own room.
No, I actually don't. I have 0 gold.
Well, perhaps you could sell that jar of yours.
That's
You said it was worth
5
5 gold after all.
with the pixie in it.
No, Pixie. No,
You have a
I
new
have.
jar.
I have.
I'd trade you a pixie jar for my not pixie jar. I'll take
My
that pixie
God.
off your hands. Give me the pixie.
No.
Can I roll intimidation?
That's up to the
Give-
player. That doesn't work.
The pixie.
She looks at
Compared
you.
now-
Are you going to actually try to intimidate her? Because I will turn around.
She looks at you with an incredibly icy glare and says, "No."
Well, nobody thank me for giving my jar up. Alright, you'd be all lost without me. Yeah.
My thanks is tolerating you.
Looking at someone who's like completely not there.
I mean-
what's wrong?
You're like, how tall are you?
I'm like 5'11", I think.
Okay, and you're like
Yeah.
a physical specimen, right? Like because you got, weren't you the one that rolled like really high in all the stats?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I am pretty specimenic, if you'd like
Okay,
to think
so
of it
she
like
looks
that.
you up and down and says, "You besmirch your gifts," and then walks off.
I'll be smirching something in a minute.
Oh, Jesus.
Alright, well, Reagan's gonna like walk back with everyone, I guess. Like back to the place, probably just sleep in a tree or something. Like, nothing unusual about the situation.
I bet you're gonna get woken up by the town guard within about 10 minutes of trying to sleep in a tree.
So
Leave me alone. Trying to sleep. So
Alright.
we're going back to the place, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he still following us?
As Mill is still injured as well.
He's gonna go sleep it off. I don't see
Is
any
this,
issues
is this the end of the session that we're sleeping on it?
Yes.
Just get everyone to the temp. Living quarters.
Living quarters.
Alright.
Ah, it's almost nice.
Mm.
What are these again? No, not inns. Inns? Quarters?
Temporary homes.
Temporary homes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some Airbnb style thing going up in here.
I like how every single one of these areas has its like own staircase.
Mm-hmm.
I call this one, it has a table.
Yeah, so we're in. These are our temporary homes, and we're not at an inn. I thought we were at an inn.
This is
He
the
did
whole,
mention temporary homes.
These are all technically part of the inn.
Oh damn. Okay.
I think it's just like multi-floored versions of the inn. Like,
Hey, hot stuff. Mind if I bunk with you?
Who are you talking to? Cordelia?
You know it.
God.
Proceeds to belch loudly again.
Have we just been given free reign to pick a room?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, I got this one.
Alright. Shots the tree to the south. Hang on, wait, before I sleep though. I sleep blissfully.
I don't think you can
Never.
stealth
There's a
one.
rat. There's a rat in that one. We must slay it.
Master Splinter.
Oh, God.
Are these meant to be fireplaces?
That's
Yes.
what I was thinking. I think
Yes.
they are, yeah.
You just see into next door's room through the fire.
Just hang on a second, let me look through the fireplace. I will deduct what's going on in the next room.
That really is some hot stuff.
Yeah.
Mallory will light the fire and sit down in a chair. I'll sleep.
Alrighty.
So,
Also, poor order bastards who have to live in this room. It's not even a room. just two beds in the room connected to an actual bedroom.
hey, look, yeah, but hey, look, are you sleeping in a tree?
He wishes he could stay there.
Yeah, no, and by the way, Reagan snores so loudly that Mill, you can actually hear him just like audibly in from your room, just just going at it, just like as loud as possible.
Risk
Mallory
without
and I
touch
have entire buildings to ourselves.
Like there's no way that the city guards don't pick him up on it, but they somehow don't.
I accidentally slept in the same building as the other Dragonborn. We're being racially segregated.
Y'all niggas need to get in your own homes.
Elf is at home. Tree life.
That's true, I'm a half elf.
So, rest of the night you sleep peacefully, most of you. Mel, you do hear the nuisance of Reagan until finally you drift off. Oh.
snoring. Just going to town, just snoring.
Fuck.
Josh,
Yes? Yeah?
before Mill sleeps, gonna try to commune with one that was abandoned. Just, you know. I mean, I know it won't work, but gotta try.
So, you offer up your prayer for the night and say your alms. Obviously. It's as much as that's all you can hear, as much as you're trying to listen for an answer from up above. Unfortunately, it's not silent, but you don't hear what you're expecting.
Definitely not what I was expecting.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
So, as dawn rolls around finally, and you all get a restful night's sleep after the questionable incident in the interesting small gnome that you've met and was able to help with your investigation. Mallory, you hear just constant, like, pling, 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 something like constantly bang against glass.
Her already open eyes, her eyes rolled back, to the back of her head. Her pupils come back down, and as she awakens, and she looks down at the jar that she's clutching.
You can see it open its mouth wide, and it looks like little tiny needles, and just like all over the glass, like waggling its tongue at you.
How lovely. Good morning to you as well.
Just immediately.
She
Was
stuffs
it
it.
from the pixie or was it from Reagan?
She stuffs it into her bag.
Before you close the top of your bag, you just can hear the fucking pixie banging against the glass.
I hope it's not strong enough to shatter that thing.
Yeah, well, you owe me a jar.
You were given a jar already.
Yeah, I don't owe you nothing.
It's not my real jar.
Oh my god.
I don't feel as connected.
Oh my goodness.
I love that jar!
Love that jar.
I made love to that jar!
Mallory
So is
will...
this not the end of the session?
No.
Oh,
So waking him...
12:20.
Huh?
How long
Alright.
are we going towards?
Well, I can end it in a few seconds here. So, I imagine, Mallory, you go to find your evaluator? Or...
Yes.
is that Master Splinter hanging out?
That's
Oh, no,
what
it's a-
I said.
Is that a Dragon Ball? What is that?
Dragonborn.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, okay. I couldn't say. I
Racial
just said the
segregation.
tail. And I honestly... no, you know what? I'm glad. You know what? Yeah. That's when we high school, right? There's gonna be like a placard that says like regular folk, and then next to it just dragon people. Can't drink from the same water. Filthy lizards.
Alright. So yeah. So yeah, we'll end off on this quick note. So Mallory, you come up. The door's obviously open. He's obviously...
She still knocks.
You do hear him yell out, like, "Come in! The door's open."
She enters and gives a slight head nod bow.
He bows deeply, and you could tell he was early to rise and had already made some breakfast for himself. A very odd-looking dish and some very nice-looking tea. He
Awesome.
kind of offers you a cup.
She will actually accept.
Huh?
And from her pack, she'll. Actually, no. She'll proceed with the pleasantries. How are you this morning?
Oh, quite wonderful. I hope you found some things of interest. I don't expect things to be too dubious. Though I did notice you were all getting back rather late. I guess you're exploring the forest preemptively before anything else.
Indeed. And we've already uncovered some culprits. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out the bottle, the jar.
Alright, so as you pull out the jar, it's empty.
Shit.
And we're going to leave off there.
Nice.
I missed all of that because I was asleep. So Reagan is completely oblivious. I actually just genuinely missed all of that.
Wait, cast sleep on him again before we leave.
What did you cast?
Cast
Nothing.
sleep. Oh my god.
Who? On me?
Yeah.
Ready to sleep.
Even more deeper sleep.
Deeper sleep.
It's like Inception.
Maybe that'll break his hangover.
Only 19 HP. I think he has more than that.
I'd hope it did. Well, you must have gotten like maximum rolls earlier.
Reagan?
Yeah, I got 3 8s.
Go ahead and
And
say
a
what your
76.
HP is.
Okay, he has those insane rolls. He probably has something close to my HP, and I have a D12. Or D10. This isn't 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought fighters were D10s.
Yeah, for a second I thought I was playing 3.5e.
Marshall. Oh, that's
Definitely.